live event. I'm so thankful for all of you joining me. I am your host, Brian A. Harris. JLab's mission, the reason why we're here is because of our mission. And that mission is to ignite a passion for the Word of God, establish a foundation for spiritual growth, and equip a community for the journey of life, and empower individuals to become disciples of Jesus Christ. Now, when you leave here tonight, our goals is when you leave here tonight is for you to be engaged. That you will be able to understand why spiritual formation and the environment for spiritual formation it is necessary for your spiritual growth. Our number one goal tonight is for you to be engaged as you are attending online and become a part of this online platform tonight. So basically, we want you to communicate with one another, have great conversation, interaction with one another. But we also want to make sure that because we are interacting and that we are more than aware that we are live and that we are live streaming and everyone can see our comments from around the world. We also want to know that there may be some disagreement. In that disagreement, we may agree or not agree on everything, but we can always be respectful of the position that others may have in this class. Everyone is valuable. And remember that we are online and we want the world to see that even when we disagree as believers, that we can also disagree in a Christ-like manner. So tonight's subject is the environment where disciples are created. It's one of my favorite subjects. It has become a really strong ministry for me to help others understand the environment where disciples are created. It's one thing to get information, but it is definitely you have to create a space and a place for everyone to grow safely and become in a place where people can ask questions, a place where people can find love, a place where people can find patience and mercy and grace and all of those things in this group of believers where we can all, can just help one another become who God has called us to be. All right. So there's a book that I will reference a few times tonight where I received most of this information from, and a lot of it is also just through my experience in pastoral ministry and different things like that. And so in the book that I will reference a few times tonight, it's called The Ecologies of Faith in a Digital Age. Ecologies of Faith in a Digital Age, Spiritual Growth Through Online Education. All right. So Stephen and Mary Lowe, who are the authors of this book, they say that Christians are to grow up, who are to grow up in all aspects into him who is the head, even Christ, must reflect growth in all of these aspects or dimensions of our created personhood if we are to achieve the measure and the stature which belongs to the fullness of Christ. That's you find it in Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 15 and 13. Now, what they mean is when he says developing all these areas, what they mean is in the areas of moral, social, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual areas. If you notice, everyone I gave you end up opening up my hand. So we actually call the moral, social, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual areas that we need to grow in, we call it the hand. All right. In the book, it has even a diagram of the hand. So watch this. Now, this has been a life-changing study for me. Simply because it really helped me to understand the benefits, again, of not just growing through teaching of information, but also the environment for which we grow is just as important. Have you ever been in a classroom in school and you had this hunger to grow and you had the hunger, desire to learn and to really become and get a great education? And then all of a sudden there was this class clown that was just kept interrupting the teacher, and the teacher had to stop teaching you what you wanted to know to deal with someone who was just kind of acting up. That tells you right there, environment is everything. It doesn't matter how hungry you are for the word. It doesn't matter how much of a healthy student you are in the word. If you're in the wrong spiritual environment, then it's going to be